Cervical and lumbar disc herniations have all the fun. If you have numb hands, probably coming from your neck. Numb legs, probably from your low back. But what's going on when it feels like you're having a heart attack? Or when every time you take a deep inhale, you have a stab of pain under your shoulder blades? In some cases, this can be our less known culprit, a thoracic disc bulge. Which is why today I want to talk to you about the difference that a thoracic disc issue can cause versus those in the neck or the low back, how they present differently, and how you would experience them as the patient. I then want to talk about little things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, whether it's at your workstation, your home, or the time spent on your phone that's making your mid-back symptoms worse. And then finally, I want to go over when you should be really worried, and those symptoms aren't just coming from compression of a nerve, but compression of your spinal cord. But my point here is not just to scare you. I also want to give you 3 useful tips and exercises that you can start doing today so that if this is all coming from tightness in your mid-back and possibly a mild disc herniation, we can start to mobilize that area, make it stronger, and alleviate your symptoms. But first things first, what makes the thoracic spine so dang special? Imagine, if you will, the 3 regions of your spine: the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar region. When your spinal cord leaves your skull, it exits down through the central canal, the opening in the bony part of your spine. And these regions, that opening, are largest in the cervical and lumbar section, but they are narrowest in your thoracic region. Additionally, if we think about the spinal cord like a highway and all the nerves that come out, sort of like exit ramps, it's going to be widest right when it exits the brain, because all the information that's going to go to your body is coming through that main pipeline. But then, as each nerve exits, that central cord gets narrower and narrower, until eventually, when we get down to the lumbar spine, all we're really left with are some tendrils. And so you can see where this becomes problematic in your thoracic spine, because we have the narrowest opening in conjunction with the middle amount of thickness when it comes to your spinal cord, ultimately leading into not a lot of room for disc bulges or things of that nature stemming from arthritis. I don't know why they made it that way, they just did. But what we have to now deal with is trying to figure out how we can decompress those nerves by extending the thoracic spine, creating a negative pressure in that joint space, and pulling that disc back into where it's supposed to be in that annulus fibrosus so you don't get radiating symptoms through your rib cage. A great place to start is with an exercise called wall angels. And how you set this up is you're going to stand tall with your heels, butt, and shoulders against a wall. You're then going to tuck your chin like you're trying to make a double chin, raise your elbows up to the level of your shoulders, pull them back against the wall as best as you can, because this will effectively straighten out your thoracic spine. And now what we're going to do is rotate those arms back while keeping your butt, heels, mid-back, and head touching the wall. And we hold this for 6 to 10 seconds. If you can't perform this exercise right off the bat, that's great, because it's a sign that it's something we can improve upon and help reduce your symptoms. Odds are, if you could already do this, you wouldn't have this problem. But wall angels accomplish a lot. They activate thoracic extension, deep cervical retraction, and external rotation at the glenohumeral joint, in addition to retraction and depression of your shoulder blades. All of which goes completely to crap whenever you sit like this, typically at your workstation or when you're on your phone. So let's take a closer look as to how your job is killing you. If you type on your laptop, look at your phone, or even if you read a book, more than likely you end up in a position like this, where your mid-back is rounded and you're kind of shaped like a candy cane. And this becomes problematic because it puts pressure on the front of your vertebral body in your thoracic spine, not only adding additional pressure to the disc, but forcing that disc back where it can compress either the central cord or the nerves that exit laterally from the spine, giving you radiating symptoms through your rib cage, pinching or pressure pain in your chest that might feel like a heart attack, and it can even disrupt digestion. Fun little Dr. Beck fact, my first muscle problem actually happened in my thoracic spine. And the first time all that happened was it hurt every time to breathe. And then the second time it happened, if I weren't 20, I would have thought I was having a heart attack, because it created a deep pulling pain through my chest that felt like someone was squeezing my heart. That being said, if you do have those symptoms, don't hesitate to go to the emergency room or a doctor's office, just to be on the safe side. But it is a big part of the reason as to why this next exercise is near and dear to me. Unlike wall angels, where we're working the deep cervical flexors and external rotators of your shoulders, with Ys we're mainly focusing on scapular depression and thoracic extension. And what this move looks like is we're going to lean forward at the waist, palms down, and reach forward like we're doing the YMCA dance. Now for most people, this is going to be a little tight through the chest and hard to perform while breathing. So do it like I did when I was first learning the move. Support your one hand on your other hip, and then with that free arm, I just want you to reach and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And another key thing that we want to focus on is thoracic extension, meaning that while we're performing this move, we don't want to have the mid-back rounded and just kind of reach in front of us. We want to extend that mid-back nice and straight, sort of like a launch pad, and then reach. These two exercises alone are going to be pretty tricky, especially if you've never done anything for mid-back mobility. And you also are going to want to restrict your range of motion if, while performing that Y and reaching, or while rotating those shoulders back, you start feeling pain like a sharp stab in your mid-back. You might have something that's either building up pressure in the joint capsule, or you might have a muscle strain, in which case we want to get these muscles and movements stronger, but we don't want to aggravate anything. Because the key thing to getting better is taking care of yourself and knowing when you're causing more damage than good, which brings us to our third point, when you need to worry. Because when you have a disc herniation in your neck, you normally get arm symptoms. When you have a disc herniation in your lumbar spine, you normally get leg symptoms. And when you have a herniation in your mid-back, more often than not, you're just going to experience tingling or burning along what's called a dermatome. It's like a ribbon wrapped along one half of your ribs. Sort of think about it like a band around part of a pop can. But if we go back to the beginning of this video and remember that the spinal cord still has some sizable heft right in the thoracic spine, where your central canal is narrowest, then we need to worry about some of the other bad effects that can happen if you have a large disc bulge or if you're starting to get stenosis. And when you have a significant disc bulge, herniation, or stenosis that is crimping your central nervous system, we run the risk of developing other symptoms such as loss of bowel or bladder function, saddle paresthesia, which is another way of saying anywhere that a horse saddle would touch you if you were sitting on it starts to go numb, or a significant decrease in balance and coordination, because all three of these are major indicators that you have central nervous system compromise that does need medical attention. And while by default I do like to think that people can benefit just from basic mobility drills, when you're experiencing symptoms like that, you need to go to a medical professional to make sure that your nerve damage isn't permanent. Alright, now that the scary part's over, let's move on to exercise number 3, because the same way for any of you who have watched some of the cervical disc videos understand that the neck is very dependent on the thoracic spine for stability, your thoracic spine is also very dependent on your lumbar and cervical spine. And that's exactly what exercise 3 is going to address. Bird dogs are one of the more complicated exercises we're going to be doing on this channel because they don't just incorporate scaption or balance, they mix those two together. Which is why we're going to start with a modified version of bird dogs before showing you the full motion. Now, when you're first performing these exercises, you can do them on the floor, and I'm going to assume you have some proficiency at doing wall angels and Ys, because we're still going to be doing that reaching motion. So, while you're on all fours, to start, just reach with your left hand and hold. And relax. Reach with your right hand and hold. And then reach back with your left leg, hold. And finally reach back with your right leg and hold. And this seems tedious, but eventually what you want to build up to is reaching with your left arm, kicking back with your right leg, balancing and holding this position. And relax. Reaching with the right arm, kicking back with the left, and holding this position, keeping the neck in neutral so that we don't over-contract your upper traps. Likewise, this move does target the lower trap muscles, but it also is going to target the mid and upper trapezius muscles because it stabilizes your head and your cervical spine. Simultaneously, it's also going to be targeting your hamstring, glute, and QL, your quadratus lumborum, on the opposite side that you're reaching with, extending the spine and also getting you used to balance, but also cross-body contraction of muscles, which is most commonly used when walking, running, and other day-to-day activities. So the better we get at holding that position, the sooner you can get back to your day-to-day life. The main thing to keep in mind with these exercises is to pace yourself. If you've never done anything for thoracic extension before, they're going to be difficult. But over time, when you start being able to notice that you can breathe deeper and your neck and shoulders don't ache every time you sit at your workstation, it's going to be well worth it. But then what can you do after this? First off, if you found this video useful, please share it with a friend who might benefit from the information as well. Thoracic disc issues normally aren't covered as often, and they might be looking for someone to help them with alleviating some of their pain symptoms. And that person could just be you. As for the exercises, keep in mind you don't have to do every exercise every day. Do the exercise that is easiest for you to start, doing 10 repetitions of 6-second holds. And then, once that move starts to become easier, move on to the next move that is second least difficult for you. And then finally, and more than likely, graduating on to bird dogs and performing that exercise safely, but working so that you can extend the thoracic spine and straighten out that leg behind you so that you have full spinal extension while we open up that chest cavity and reduce symptoms from nerve compression. And with that, guys, I'm Dr. Beck. Thank you again so much for watching. The support from all of you has been phenomenal, and I hope that this channel and this video continue to help you to make the most of your one life.